Hello, in the next episode. In today's video I'm going to repair Nintendo Switch OLED, which came in for the no power repair. So let's fix it. Okay, so this is the Nintendo Switch OLED, my customer, and this is what he said. I have a Nintendo Switch OLED console, which had installed with chip version 3 from other seller. But it seems now it won't boot up, and I assume it's the chip which wasn't installed correctly. I want the whole version 3 chip set to be removed inside on my OLED unit and decided to get a newer version 4 chip which I provided for you to replace on my Switch. Alright, so that was the message from my customer. So this is our Switch. Let's try to power this up. So from the description it seems that, you know, the console is completely dead. Yeah. When I press and hold the power button for 12 seconds, there's nothing, no signs of life. And press once again, and it's dead. Alright, so let's check if we've got SD card in. No, we don't have SD card in, so let's put my SD card. But you know, by the way, if there is a chip installed, so when we press the power button, we should see the message on the screen that there's no SD card. But for some reasons it doesn't work. Let's plug our charger and see. So it's taking 0.4 amps. And still nothing on the screen, but it's, you know, we can understand it because, you know, there's a chip inside, yeah? So let me just put my SD card already prepared with all files needed to boot it up in the custom firmware. And let's check this now. I'm going to plug the charger as well. And still the same. There's no signs of life. And what we've got here is the chip version 4.0. Yes. All right, so let's disassemble this console quickly and check what is wrong with this console. Right, we've got one missing screw here and damage, you know, the shield. But look at this. The other seller did something like this. He didn't connect, you know, the Wi-Fi antennas. Weird. Alright, and we've got the chip. Looks like there's a missing 3.3 volts. Let me just check this multimeter. The volts mode. Let me check. The battery is connected. Black probe on the minus, on the ground. It can be, you know, our charging port. Let's put, and we've got 3.3 volt. All right, so let's check the other. You should see 1.5. What is that? 1.8. Something is definitely not right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have to disconnect, you know, the power. I just need to see if this console will boot up into the original firmware or there is different issue. So I disconnected the main power. So now we should be able to boot it up to the original firmware. Can we do this? Yes. Alright, so the console is working. The console is working. But the problem is that chip, which causing the problem, which causing the problem with, you know, the booting up. So my customer exactly knew that that was the issue. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going just to disconnect the battery. Okay, so let me check now what we've got inside of this bag. Completely different, you know, ribbon tape for the APU. We've got a chip. Right, so this is our adapters for the NAND memory. Alright, so we just need to install this chip here. See, a little bit different one. Different connections, different pins. So let's do this. We need to remove this old ribbon tape. Let's have a look how it was done. Alright, so let's clean this. Alright, beautiful. And we just need to remove this, also this tape, because we don't longer need it, because we need to solder the new tape here. And let's solder new ribbon tape. Here. Just need to position it correctly. I think we need to remove this blob. So what can I see here? That, you know, here is a missing resistor, actually. So I thought that I've done this when I was desoldering, you know, this tape, but not. You see, there's nothing here. Right, so here is our missing resistor. This is another switch OLED. I just want to check it. I can measure this properly. So it's a 100 ohms. Both sides. Alright, so let's solder here 100 ohms resistor. I'm going to check this. Now the board is still warm, so it should be a little bit less than 100. No, we've got exactly 100. It's going a little bit down, 100 ohms. Alright, so this job is done. So we can carry on with our ribbon tape. Let's solder the point C now. Alright, so let's set up multimeter in the diode mode. Black probe on the ground. And we've got 0.721. Good. Here's the ground. We've got the ground. This is our point, so I just need to make sure that this is not connected to this point, but it's not. It should. Let's measure this point. It's okay. And C point, it's still okay. So this tape is this ribbon tape is soldered properly. Next step is to solder another ribbon tape to the APU. So what I always do before I start, and just take this ribbon tape Alright, so let's test those points now. So black probe on the ground, red probe here. Let's go to the on mode. And yes, we got 14.3. Here's 14.3. It should be 0. Yes. All right. What I need to do, I just need to cut off a little bit the shield here, where this tape is. As you know, I don't want to cut this tape off. So let's clean the core of the APU. Double side tape. This is our chip. It should be something like this. Right, so let me connect this tape to the connector here, so we can position, you know, this chip on this metal shield. And we need to solder this tape here. So let's go back under the microscope. Alright, so now is the time to peel off this film, and we can install this chip permanently here. Alright, so the chip is soldered properly. So there's also one more point B, to be soldered. Alright, so what we can do now, we just need to clean the contacts here, the points. Right, so multimeter in the diode mode, black probe on the ground, and let's test those points. So here we've got 0.7, 0.7, 0.7, which is good, 0.58, which is good, 3.3 should be good, and the ground, and it's ground. And here it should be 1.2. Let's assemble it quickly. So let's plug the battery. Press the power button. And we've got red light. No, this is not the red light. And voila! Alright, so let's test it now with the SD card in. And it's booting up to Hikati. We've got a very weak battery, so I'm going to plug the charger. Alright, so now only one thing left. We just need to make a backup. And first I'm going to do eMMC boot 0 and boot 1. And next eMMC row GPP. And that's it. The job is done. Alright, so as you could see, this process was quite easy. Some of the point, like, you know, the DAT0, DAT0 was already soldered, so I didn't touch this. 1.8 volt point was also already soldered, the jumper wire. So what I've just done, I've just replaced the ribbon tapes on the APU and another one just above APU. And I just connected, you know, soldered some points, and that's it. So the job is done. Alright, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time.